Good morning. We are in the Sermon on the Mount talking about being God's salt and light people. And Jesus is giving us his kingdom manifesto in this. And he's moving toward the conclusion of this. And he says, seek first God's kingdom and his righteousness. God first. I remember when I was a kid, there's a movie that came out about a football player named Gale Sayers and his best friend, Brian Piccolo. And Gale Sayers came up with this sort of adage. He said, God's first, my friends and family are second, and I am third. I am third was his famous quote. I am third. And there's other, ones. I am second. There's a website with that. But the whole idea here is that there's a priority. And that priority, if you start getting first things first, if you get your priorities straight, there's a good bet that other things are going to work themselves out. But if we just spend all of our time scurrying to give our investment, give our time, our energy, our money, our time, our talent, our treasure to the things that cry the loudest, we end up just playing whack-a-mole all the time in our lives. We end up just trying to play catch up all the time. And so God says, me first, put me in my kingdom, put me in what's right with me first. And when he says that, he's saying to us that this is both a chronology and a priority. That is, that we chronology means that we put him first. Actually, that he's at the top of the list. He's first. And so with my time, when I get up in the morning, I actually give the Lord my time. Maybe it's just praying the Lord's Prayer real slowly right at the beginning of your day. That's a great way to be able to start your day, to pray through that prayer and to pray it slowly and kind of sync yourself with God in that. That's putting the Lord first in terms of your time. But in terms of your priorities in that too, it's going to mean that you and I are spending the time looking for ways that we can give into God's kingdom, to treasure people, to treasure the things that God treasures, to put our finger on his pulse and say, Lord, I want to do what you're doing. I want to care the way that you're caring. I want to be your hands and your feet. And that takes a priority in terms of how we see ourselves in our vocations, in our jobs, in all those different things, because we have put him first priority-wise and we've put him first chronologically, that he is the first one that we give our attention to in the morning. So again, that's something to think about. That's something to process as we slide into this coming Sunday, where we're going to talk some more about the Sermon on the Mount and judge not that you be not judged, and that whole thing, and the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Thanks for joining me.